Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting the camera to be that good. Um, but yay, okay. I keep feeling like I should start a YouTube channel, but I just never do it. Well, one of the main reasons is I have a major insecurity about having this chipped tooth. And like I don't have any makeup on right now because my face is broken out, and I don't want to put makeup on it just to cover, um, to cover it up. It's just gonna make it worse. But what I wanted to talk about was basically because I have felt guided like on a spiritual journey, and I really really feel guided to start a YouTube channel to share my journey and the things that I've learned throughout my process with other people. But I really just have this like anxiety and knot in my stomach about starting a YouTube channel. It's just very overwhelming, and um I just don't want to live in a glass house, but I do feel compelled to share some of the stuff that I know. So, one of the things that I wanted to share about was meditation, specifically because a lot of people say that they can't meditate or that they have a hard time meditating or that their mind, like, they can't calm their mind down or they can't have no thoughts and stuff like that. And I think that people misunderstand what meditation is, or like what the point of it is, or how to do it, or maybe they do it more often than they think they are. And I kind of want to give a little bit of guidance in my own personal experience with meditation because I used to feel the same way and think that I couldn't meditate. But meditation is really not necessarily about not having any thoughts, but more so about letting like any thought flow. Like, so if you think a thought like, okay, uh, I'm worried about the electric bill, or so you have to like specifically set a time or set the intention. That's the first part, is that your intention is to, whatever you want to call it, meditate, contemplate, go inside yourself, connect with yourself, whatever, however you're, doing. You have to have the intention. That's the first part. And that's the same way with any magic. If you do rituals or anything like that, the number one thing about magic is in rituals and stuff like that is intention. Anyway, but if you do practice magic, then definitely learning how to meditate will help enhance your practice, for one thing. And then just in general, meditation helps you to manifest things, just because you could have a clear like vision in your mind's eye. But anyway, so back to meditation. Yes, meditation feels like it's difficult, but it seems like it because you have a certain expectation of, oh, you should be like, feel like, oh, you should have this, you know some kind of, specifically a feeling. That's what people are looking for. We're looking for a feeling to, you know say ding ding ding, you're doing it right, and then, but it's not like that. It's not that you get this feeling of, you know I mean, you do at some point, but the initial thing of when you're doing it right, it's not that you're getting a feeling of excitement or thrill, which I think is kind of why people feel like they're not doing it right, is because they don't, have this, you know, peak experience or whatever. So that doesn't mean that you're not meditating correctly just because you don't have peak experience or have like some profound life, experience. Meditation is more about allowing the thoughts to flow, whatever thought flows into your head. So, like I said, if I'm worried about, like, oh, so I set the intention that I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes every day in the morning. In the night, I do 5 minutes of meditation and then 5 minutes of prayer, or at least a few minutes of prayer, however long it takes. And a big part of my prayer is spending time in gratitude. Anyway, I think that that is a big part of not just meditation, but manifestation is having that being able to get into the frequency and the feeling of gratitude. Um, but back to meditation. The point of meditation is to allow thoughts to flow. It's not that you have to just have a blank mind and you can't think thoughts. You'll never not be thinking thoughts as long as you're alive. Your brain beats like your heart. Thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. And that's okay. It's not that you have other processes in the back of your mind going on, even that you don't even have in your conscious awareness all the time. Your brain's working stuff out in the back of its mind. So, meditation is about allowing, a clean slate so that whatever's going on in the back of your mind can come forward. You can see it and be aware, and you say, oh, yeah, the electric bill is due. Okay. And then you allow that thought to flow it back into the flow of thoughts. You don't hold on to it and say, "Oh, the electric bill is due." Oh, and then you start clinging to it and thinking more thoughts about it and being worried and anxious and stressed out. And next thing you know, you've run off with uh, that thought. Where in the idea of meditation is, yes, you say, "Oh yeah, okay, the electric bill is due. I am aware. I acknowledge you. You just that is all you're doing is acknowledging it, and then you allow it to go, and then you're coming back to being blank again and allowing whatever thought comes up. Oh, I need to get toilet paper. Whatever thought comes up, you allow them. Okay, I see you. All right, and you let it go again. Just a few more minutes, you stay, and then you might. The normal thing is to get caught up in a thought. Oh yeah, I need toilet paper, and I need to remember to get cat food, and it's easy for that one thought for your mind to want to run away with it, whatever it is. Your whole job during meditation or contemplation or whatever it is to keep coming back, redirecting back to allowing a blank slate so that whatever is in the back of your mind or underneath can come up, and then you can see it. And then, okay, so then, the deeper that you go, the deeper that the thoughts will go. So the initial thoughts that your mind wants to run away with are all superficial things like, oh, the electric bill, oh, the toilet paper and cat food. And then it just each thought will go deeper as you keep coming back to, the blank slate, the meditation, the contemplation. And you just keep coming back to it over and over. And that refocusing over and over back to, oh, I'm allowing thoughts. Oh, I'm allowing thoughts that I'm going to allow thoughts in this meditation. I'm allowing thoughts for meditation. And you're coming back to that over and over as you do. You reprogram your brain, and you'll just find that it's easier to focus on things. Your mind just works better. Your third eye starts to open. Things start to really fall into place. You get really more in tune and connected with your higher self and your intuition. And I won't say, not for everybody, your psychic abilities don't necessarily kick on immediately, but you will definitely start to sense, have like a sixth sense, whatever that means to you, because it can mean different things to other people. When um, different people, like when your third eye opens, it's different for everybody. Some people have very visual experiences. Other people have very, auditory or whatever. It can be very synchronistic. I'll say that from my experience. And um, the more that you see it and tune into it, the more it comes online. And if you stay, like I said, in the frequency of gratitude is often like, wow, that's so beautiful, 1111, and you just feel grateful that you saw it even, then you just are holding on to that frequency and you stay um, in the vibe of manifesting things. That's been my experience. Um, so I covered meditation. Well, so basically, basically the just meditation, contemplation, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people don't think that they can do it or find it hard, but in general, I think that people like you, I do it when I'm doing dishes without even thinking. Like, I just go into the zone and like it's that muscle memory. Like when you drive home from somewhere without uh realizing it, all of a sudden you're like, dang, I'm home. And you didn't even have like a conscious awareness the whole time. That could be bad and can be good. The idea of doing those type of things is to allow a specific, um again, it's redirecting to the allowing of thoughts, basically, in my opinion. For me, a lot of it is in contemplative thought, but if I do get, like, for me, how I feel like I became such a spiritual person, number one, I'm Sagittarius. I'm proud of being Sagittarius because they're like the philosopher of the zodiac, and I'm also the huntress, but I'm more like a crystal and mushroom hunter than a animal killer or something. But anyway, um, contemplation. Yeah. So for me, that's how a big thing, like being Sagittarius and always wanting to know the truth about things. Like I always have been on a search for truth since I was a child, since I was young, and always questioned everything. And um, in doing so, I really found contemplation in my mind just interesting, and thought, as Einstein says, like thought experiments, just kind of asking myself questions of like, I don't know, just the older that I get, the more it's like, why? Ask myself 3 times why to know. Like, so somebody makes me mad, like my sister hurts my feelings. Um, because she yelled at me and said something mean to me, which she was stressed out, and she's in the middle of a move, and I was hungry and hangry, and she fed my other sister and not me, and I got upset, and I was like, well, I'm hungry, and she was like, well, go get something to eat, and I got really upset. My feelings really got hurt, and I cried, and my feelings are still hurt, if I'm honest. It's not just about the food why my feelings are hurt, it's because my feelings were hurt before that. But the fact that it bothered me and I was triggered and I was that upset, then I have to ask myself, okay, number one, this is something that makes me not happy, not in a happy like state of mind. So I had to ask myself why. Okay, so my feelings were hurt because of my sister. That's why. But why were my feelings hurt? Because they were hurt from something else prior with her. So that's the second why. Well, why were they hurt before? Like, why am I still not letting go from the last time? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is I'm still not forgiving from all these other hurtful things that my sister did with moving my exes in with her and just other things. When you really get to the bottom of why something upsets you right now, and you keep asking yourself why, well, why is it? Why does it upset you? Well, why did that happen? Why do you even care? Whatever, whatever the why question is that you need to ask. It's something's, depending what the answer is, you just have to figure out how you need to word it. And it's never going to be why did somebody else? It's always why you. Why do you feel that way? Why would that bother you? Why, you know what I mean? Like, and why does it bother me that my sister moved my exes in with me? Because I feel like that's disloyal, and I don't feel like she's ever really been loyal. The more and more that I think about it, I just feel like it's just such a major, blatant slap in my face that she just really never was loyal, and she's very two-faced and never really cared about me. That's how I really feel. And then I say, well, why do I feel like I really believe that she never cared about me? Like, that is where I go when I really want to find the answer to the pain. Why? And that's just an example, but when I was younger, it wasn't that deep. Like right now, the why questions are a lot deeper. When I was younger, it was more like the contemplation was more like, um, I remember even being like in fifth and sixth grade and spending like hours in like just in my head thinking about aliens and I don't know, I still am obsessed and love the thought of aliens, and I definitely would, um I've had some psychedelic experiences where I truly believe I've had communication and connection, and I've even, um, seen strange things in the sky with even my family that doesn't even believe in that stuff, and like my same sister that actually I was just talking about her, I saw with her once, and I said, "Look, look, look! Oh my god!" And she's like, "Don't look at it, just look at the road," because we're driving, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like even like for some people, even when they do see something strange in the sky or whatever, they just even refuse to believe it. They'll look away. And then there's people like me that's like, I want to point it out and I want everybody to see and I want people to be excited, but that's not um, everybody's experience. Not everybody's excited to see a UFO. Although I've never personally had a, what do they call it when you have like a one like contact. I've never had alien contact or whatever. I've never been like abducted or anything. I think that maybe if I had been, then that might be a little bit different, or I may have a different experience or different opinion. I'm sure that there are a variety of experiences, from people like Corey Good, um, and he's describes, I don't know, probably dozens of um, alien species. I really don't like the word alien because in my psychedelic experiences, most of the entities that I talked to or communicated with, uh, com- okay, let me not say most. I'll say it was communicated to me telepathically or somehow that the beings I was communicated with didn't like to be called aliens. They preferred to be called like either interdimensionals or extraterrestrials. And they said basically either of those names was more appropriate than aliens because alien, again, words have power and frequency, and the word alien is immediately has a certain connotation no matter how um, well meaning you mean it because other people put energy into the words and the definitions the same way like religion. um you know i've I was raised part Christian and part Wiccan, actually. And then I became atheist when I was an adult, once I was like 19, 20. No, I had to be probably 21 actually. I was atheist for 4.5 years, and I really thought it was funny people believed in angels. I had a hard time with that. Um, but then I had a near-death experience, and when I came out of it, I didn't know what to believe, but I believed in science, and so I looked and looked, and the near-death experience was the closest thing I could find that described what happened to me. And then I found the laws of the universe, the 12 laws of the universe, which is basically the same thing as the Hermetic principles. It's just a more thorough list. Anyway, the long and short of it is that like the Hermetic principles and all that stuff is like, you know, whether it's the Emerald tablets, the seven Hermetic principles, the 12 laws of the universe, it's all the same thing. They're all just different, um, whatever, you get the idea, different pointers. But when I found that was a big thing for me coming back from being atheist back into spirituality, because I really couldn't find anything that I could really grab onto because I was really obsessed with science and I only believe what science could prove. So I had a hard time with like God and stuff because I didn't want to believe, like, I couldn't believe in something I couldn't see, and I couldn't believe that if there was a God that really did exist, that he let bad things happen, like that had happened to me, or I'm sure that have happened to lots of other people. I just really had a hard time. But now through, a lot of healing, shadow work, and psychedelic healing, psychedelic experiences specifically with the intention to heal, I believe that that those things that I thought at the time were negative maybe aren't, or that sometimes, well, for one thing, we live in a world of duality. It's not necessarily like this everywhere in the universe. Let's see. Oh my gosh. It's not necessarily everywhere in the universe that there's duality, but here on Earth there is. But I feel like in the spiritual realm, Earth is like, number one, Earth is like a school, sort of, but it's also, um, I feel like the actual Earth itself is a being, a living female energy, and she is currently, um, well, partially enslaved. So she screamed for help, and lots of souls came. And that's what people like me are doing here, light workers. And there's a wide variety of people like me. Maybe you're one of them. I don't know, but I believe that there's a lot of people like me that are here to help kind of free the earth itself, which basically means moving the earth from the third dimension to the fifth dimension of consciousness, essentially, both of reality and consciousness. But it's a lot to understand. Basically, if you can understand the concept of the dimensions, that's the better way to go. Um, anyway, I guess that is all of my ramblings for now. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. And if you're interested in more, comment and subscribe and like this video, share it with somebody, tell somebody, help awaken somebody if you can. Just hold the light and just hold your ground. Just hold your ground and stay where you are if that's all you can do. Help is on the way. Okay. Have a blessed day.